Hey, I'm super excited to share this video with you guys because it's all about how to forgive others. And I feel like this is the theme. Sorry, let me fix my necklace because my OCD is kicking in here. Um, because it's super important when we are manifesting anything on a spiritual journey, trying to, kind of leave the past behind us. Part of that process is forgiving everyone. And that honestly is the hardest part for some people because, to be totally truthful, most people are subconsciously addicted to feeling guilt and shame and resent and anger towards others because that's just what they're used to feeling. And this is probably the emotion that was most prevalent in their household when they were growing up, maybe in their friend circles as they were growing up. And if you really want to leave your past behind you and live the life that you truly want and create a dream life for yourself, you have to master forgiveness. And you've probably heard this before, but forgiving others is not for the other person's benefit, it's for your benefit. It is the one thing that allows you peace and allows you more space to create. Because it's impossible to create when we're constantly in a state of reactivity, of feeling resent and anger and guilt and shame. Those are the lowest vibrations that we can possibly feel, according to the Hawkins scale of consciousness. So I'm not technologically savvy enough to put up a video or a picture right here yet. Figure that out as we kind of go through working this YouTube thing out. But if you just Google search the Hawkins scale of consciousness, you'll notice that all of those negative emotions sit at the very bottom, and forgiveness sits up way higher. It's kind of like towards the upper level, past neutrality and past reasoning. Um, but you have to go through forgiveness if you want to become abundant, which you already are. Really, what's happening is you are remembering who you are, and forgiveness is one of the ways that you have to go through to remember who you are. So, in today's video, I'm going to share how many tips do I have? My best tips. I'm going to say that I have 3 to 5 best tips, and whatever comes out is going to be what happens. Okay. So, um, the very first tip that I have for forgiving others is dun, 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 forgive yourself first. Because our internal reality creates our external reality, right? So, excuse me, where in your life are you holding on to those negative feelings of anger and resent and shame and fear? It's likely that you are holding on to them, and a very, very critical judge of yourself. Like, there is a saying that's you're your worst inner critic, right? Because we hold ourselves up to such high standards, and we can't forgive ourselves for not reaching those standards and expectations. When you are in flow and in unconditional love, there's no expectation. Expectations necessarily mean that there are conditions to love. And that's not where we're trying to go. That's the opposite way of where we're trying to go, right? So we have to really master forgiving ourselves first, because that allows us to then see the humanness in ourselves, which allows us to see the humanness in other people. When you're looking at someone and you have had a situation in which they really hurt you, or you perceive that they really hurt you, right? I'm going to change that language up so that you kind of see where my train of thought goes with this. You are choosing to allow them to hurt you because, and this is not the same for if, you're in an abusive relationship. Well, kinda. um, you are choosing to feel that way because nobody else can make you feel any way at all. Like your emotions are your own responsibility. And if you are looking at a situation in which there was hurt that was received and you chose to be hurt, then it's an indicator that you need to look within. If there's pain there, this is something I learned in my hypnobirthing class. Pain is a acronym for pay attention, integrate now, which means pay attention. Pay attention to why you're feeling that pain, why you're feeling that suffering in the moment, because it likely is a mirror. It's a lesson for you to learn why and how to be forgiving for yourself. Because usually, what we can't be gracious about and forgive in others is something that we hold ourselves to a high standard about as well. And it's not easy. I know that this is a lot of conceptualized theories to most of you, but I can honestly say that embodying this truth and really taking in how to look at particular situations that are hurtful have changed my life for the better. Like this is how I don't live in victimhood anymore. And if any of you guys know my story, you know that I have literally experienced everything, all the worst things, all the best things, but also all the worst things. And I get asked all the time, like, how are you able to stay so grounded? How are you able to be so forgiving? How are you able to hold space? This is how. It's recognizing the humanness in yourself first, because then it allows you to recognize the humanness in others. And some people do it the opposite way, right? So it doesn't have to be vice versa in chronological order. It can be vice versa. It doesn't have to be in chronological order. You can use this technique to look at other people and be like, okay, like I'm feeling really hurt by this situation. These are the actions that I feel hurt by. Do I do this to other people? And can I forgive myself first? Or maybe can I forgive them for doing this? But likely you have to go through that train of thought where you're like, do I do this to other people? And usually you fucking do. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like, usually when you don't like something that other people do, it's because there's a part of you that probably does it or have done it before in the past. And I think it's important to have standards, but also like it helps you just bring people back down to humanness. Like, yes, we're on a spiritual journey. Yes, we are trying to be high vibe, but honestly, spirituality, the more deeply you go into it, is an incredible ability to be spacious and tolerant of people's humanness and forgiving of people's human being, like human beingness. I don't even know what to call it other than that. It's so important. So, those are two tips, I think. I said 3 to 5, right? So, the next tip is doing like a forgiveness meditation. And what I like to do is during the new moon. Is it the new moon? No, full moon. During the full moon, excuse me, I had some ginger beer for dinner. So during the full moon, I like to do a forgiveness ceremony where I write down all the things that I feel hurt by, or that I feel like I could do better for myself. and I write it down on paper, and I meditate and listen to music. I'll dance it out, like release energy out of my body, and then I will burn the paper that has all of the things that I want to forgive and release. Highly recommend doing that. I try to do that every full moon. I actually did do that with the Halloween full moon, which was a blue moon. And that week was crazy because literally everything came to the surface that I was releasing. And I was like, oh man, like whatever energy I was moving during that day, like really worked for me. And the more deeply you go into spirituality, you'll find that these different modalities of spirituality work better for you, like Reiki, astrology, human design, massage, body work, energy healing, all that stuff works way better when you are in flow with your spiritual journey. And again, like you have to release. Forgiveness is all about releasing and like making your vessel, your body, your mind, your spirit, a clear channel for everything to flow through easily. That leads me to the fourth tip, which is moving your body, especially when you have a lot of stagnant energy. So when you are holding on to like anger, guilt, shame, resent, you're probably holding it in a part of your body that you might not realize. So for me, the main areas of my body that I hold those emotions in are my right shoulder, pretty much everything on my right side, but my right shoulder for sure. And then my throat and heart space. So like I have this area right here. Like it's really tight and clenched up whenever I'm feeling really emotional or negatively emotional. I have a lot of heaviness on my chest. It just feels like, you know what I mean? So I like to dance, literally shake it out. I like to just hang upside down so that my shoulders are and chest are wide open, so my heart's open. Um, I also like to sing a lot. I actually grew up singing. I sang before I could actually talk words, which is funny. There's like videos of my family has of me when I was like 1 or 2 years old, like dancing in a diaper and singing, and like I didn't know words yet. So yeah, I recommend singing, making guttural noises just to move that energy out of your body. So important. All of this stuff sounds so woo-woo whenever you first start doing it, and it might feel very uncomfortable, but the reality is these are the things that will help you get into the person or become that person that you actually want to be, which is, if you're on this channel, a spiritual person who is realizing their dream life, right? Like, I'm sure there's so many of you guys who are just sick of playing the 9 to 5 rat race and sick of being told that you can't achieve the things that you want to achieve. Let me be another messenger for you. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Whatever the fuck you want. There's really no rhyme or reason or limits to anything that you can do. Like if you see something in someone and are jealous about it, that's a good indicator that you want to be able to do what they're doing, and you do have the ability to do that. Because what we see in others is simply a mirror of what we see in ourselves. So if it works in the negative ways, which I started with in this video, like if you're seeing something someone does and you don't like it, likely is something that you do. But if you're also seeing something that someone does and you're jealous of it, it's likely that you have this feeling of wanting to do that. And if you have that desire, it means that you already are able to do that. It's just a matter of you being able to remember that capability, that abundance, that bliss, that joy, that peace that that comes from. And the fifth tip that I have is this meditation called Hopo Honoponopono. I can never say it because it's really it's a Hawaiian meditation that they use, I believe, it daily to just kind of forgive everyone for the day. Just like wipe the slate clean so that the next day you start out with a light heart and you're not holding on to anything that people have done, and just forgive them for being fucking human, you guys. Like, can't stress this enough. Like, forgiving, how to forgive anyone really is just a matter of like seeing them as human. Like, we all fuck up. We all do really stupid shit. We all do really hurtful things. And the humanness that you see in other people is simply a conditioning that they've received their whole entire lives. You know, like all of us lived completely different stories. No two people see the world exactly the same. You'll never, like, even twins who were literally born from the same cell won't see the world the same way. They're two completely different souls experiencing this world in a completely different way. And when you're able to see the humanness in someone else, and you're able to see that humanness in yourself and stop holding yourself to such high standards, you get to a place where you realize you don't need anything. You can want things without needing things. You can want a partner without needing a partner. You can want money without needing money. There's so many things that we are just constantly like dog paddling to get to, but we are not willing to do the work to get there. And one of the biggest pieces of work that you have to do is forgive. And this is not bypassing the emotions that you feel, right? Like, forgiveness is for your own inner peace. But like, if you are feeling angry and you're feeling those feelings, like, let yourself feel them. Like, if you're feeling angry, go punch a pillow, go scream, go like vent to other people. Like, you're human. And it's beautiful and it's so wonderful that you are human, and I'm so happy that you exist. And if someone hasn't told you that lately, like, I need you to know that you are so valuable to this earth. You are literally an angel that came to this planet to experience the world as a human being. So I have a really awesome um, offering for you guys that I just made. It is a free masterclass on how to transform your pain from your past into like fuel for creating the life that you want, because that's what we're all about here. So you can catch that masterclass down below. All you have to do is sign up, and it'll send you directly to the masterclass. And then from there, if you are interested, there's another bonus where you can connect with me. If you are looking for other ways to connect with me, sorry, I just like brain farted and mom brain so hard. There's a free meditation. It's about 10 minutes long. It's Anapana meditation, which is the meditation technique that I learned in Vipassana, that really helped me to focus my mind and become a lot more acute into my awareness. That's down below. That will sign you up for the free Monday newsletter that goes out every Monday. And that always has like free coaching and tips that I give out. And then there's also a free Facebook community called Rediscover You. It's totally free. There's also a bunch of like free yoga and meditation videos in there that are archived that you can go and watch, especially throughout this week. Where we're all kind of figuring out what to do with our families, if you are going to be with your family, if not, whatever. Um, and I'm putting together a new offering that will not include coaching with me, but it'll be more of just an evergreen course that you can take that's self-paced, um, that will be for everyone and not just women, because my Sacred and Divine Goddess program is geared towards women only. So this will be an offering that everyone can take, regardless of what gender you identify as. And I would love you guys' feedback if that's something that you would like to know more about. Hit me up and like put a comment down below and just let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in learning about and helping me put together, I guess, because I want to make sure that the content that I put in there is valuable and also relatable to the people who are buying it, obviously. So it'll be likely around 100 to 200 bucks. So super affordable. I'll open it up to payment plans as well, because I know it's going to be much needed for people. And also I want to respect the fact that people are still out of jobs and, are financially struggling at this moment. So yeah, I would love you guys' feedback on it. I think I'm gonna do a Thanksgiving special video for you guys. I haven't decided yet, so stay tuned. And I will definitely still be doing the live Q&A on Friday. I missed it last week, which I apologize about, but that's my humanness and I forgive myself. Hopefully you guys can hold space for that, but just trying to be transparent. So I will see you guys. If I don't post that awesome Thanksgiving special, I'll see you guys Friday for sure. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving week.